Hi, Jens Andersen of Denmark. Now the prompt is that newspapers are no longer the best source of news. I realize that if you live under some authoritarian regime that imposes censorship, your local newspaper may not be the best provider of news. But in a global perspective, and where the press is free, I think newspapers are still the best providers of news. Not only have they managed to adapt in this digital era and now being on multiple channels, also their role as editors have grown in importance with the amount of information. Now, you still have the printed papers. They are good when you want to redraw from the world, sit in your armchair in your garden and really go deep in mind, contemplate about the content and enjoy the written word. If you are more in the frantic world, wanting to be up on the beat, maybe needing to be constantly updated on the news, well, you'll find today the newspapers on any channel. I don't know a single newspaper that is not accessible online, and they are being updated all the time. This is the digital era, and that is the second main point. In this digital era, we have got an immense growth of information. If I want to know something about, well, anything, I can go open my laptop and I can Google it. I'll get millions, billions of hits. All these sources provide a huge amount of information. Now the strength of the newspaper is that it filters all this information into a coherent picture. You can always go further if you want. And when you are out there in the cyberspace, you got all these sources. Now sources are always biased, and often with news it is a theme of conflict. So you got conflicting views, and all sources are biased, like your newspaper. This, the national newspaper, or this, the local newspaper. This is a bit left-winged, intellectual paper. This is more down-to-earth, a bit right-winged. I know the bias of my newspapers. I don't know the bias of all the sources out in cyberspace, but these newspapers I know. And therefore, at least newspapers still have an enormous strength, because not only have they managed to adapt to the digital era, keeping the strength of the printed paper and being accessible online, but also this importance, their role as editors in the frantic world.